Hello everybody and welcome to the Creative Arena. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create a premium newspaper style blog using the Elementor loop builder. So at the end of this video, this is what we're going to achieve. We're going to build a website, a homepage that looks like this with this section available for your sidebar where you can add adverts and so on. And then each category, each post is sorted out or is filtered based on category, like the category lifestyle and then the category for news as well. And the site is also fully responsive. You can check it out on all other devices. This is what it looks like on mobile. This is what it looks like on mobile, and this is what it looks like on tablet. You can check it on tablet as well. This is what it looks like on tablet. So without wasting much of our time, let's dive in and get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a flexbox container. Let's add this container, and then let's give our container some padding. Let's give it a padding of 100 all around, and then let's unlink this and give it 20 to the right and then 20 to the left. All right, now that we've done this, the next thing we'll do is we'll click on this plus icon here, and then we're going to add a loop. We're going to use the loop grid. We're going to drag and drop it here. Now we choose the template type, make sure it's set to post, and then down below here you can choose a preview template, or you can create a template from scratch either by clicking on this create template or clicking on this create template. So we're just going to create a new template, click on save. All right, now the next we're going to do is we're going to title our template. We're going to rename the template by doing so. Click on this cog sign here, cog icon here, and then we're just going to rename this. We're going to rename this to hero temp 1. We're going to rename it to hero temp 1. Okay, and that we've done that, we're just going to click on this plus icon here. So we'll go to elements to view our elements. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this plus icon here, and then we're just going to add something like this here, this structure. Now that we've done that, the next thing we'll do is we'll click on this plus icon, and then we search for the call to action. Now we're going to drag this and drop it here. Okay, now for the skin, we're going to set the skin to cover, and then for the image we're going to choose dynamic tag, then we'll set it to featured image. All right, now what this featured image does is it pulls the featured image of the most recent post, as in the most recent blog post. So now for the content, we're going to change the content title. We're going to change the title to a dynamic tag, and the tag we're going to use is the post title. And then for the description, we're going to change it to a dynamic tag for post date. And as for the button, we're just going to clear the button. And for the link, we're going to set the link to dynamic link using the post URL to do that, and then we're going to apply it to the whole box. Okay, now that we've done this, we'll go to the style options. For the style options, we're going to set the alignment to the left, and then for the vertical position, we're going to set it to the bottom. Okay, now that we've done this, everything looks fine. Then for the box height, we're going to set the height to 500 pixel. I'm going to set the height 500 pixel like so. Okay, now that we've done this, we're just going to click on save and back. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to edit this. We're going to edit the loop template. Okay, and then we're going to change the columns. We're going to set the column to 1, and then we're going to set item per page to 1 as well. All right, this is what we get. Okay, now that we've done this, we're done with the first template, our hero template 1. We're going to add another container just like we've done above. We're going to add another container, and then we're going to add a loop to it, loop, and then we're going to drag this loop grid just like we did before. We're going to click on create template, create another template, yeah, this time around we're going to rename this template. We're going to rename the template, we're going to call it hero temp 2. I'm going to call it hero temp 2. We'll click on this plus icon and go back, and then we'll click on this, and then we'll click on this. Now we're going to add this. We're going to click on this plus icon and search for the same thing, the call to action. We're going to drag it and drop it here. Okay, and then we've done that. We're going to set the skin classic. We're going to set it to cover. and then we're going to set the image. You're going to choose a dynamic tag for the image. You set it to featured image, and then we're going to go to the content. For the content, just like we did before, the code, we use the post title dynamic tag, and then for the description, we're going to set the date. We're going to set the date for that. Where is the date? Post date. Yeah, we're going to set it to post date. Okay, and then for the button, we're going to clear this. Then for the link, we're going to set it to dynamic tag the post URL and apply whole box. Then we'll go to the styling options. For the styling option, we're going to set the box height to 300 pixel, and then for the alignment, we're going to set it to the left. For the vertical position, we're going to set it to the bottom. Okay, now that we've done this, the next step we're going to do here is we'll come down to the content. Then for the content, I don't think we'll be doing anything in the content now, maybe later. So we're done with this. We're going to click on save, and then we'll scroll down. This is what we get. Now we'll edit the loop. We edit the loop, and then we change the column. Set the column to 1, and then we'll set the item per page. We're going to set it to 1 as well. Going to set it to 1 as well. So we now have this, and we'll have this as well. Not to worry, I'm doing this separately so you can see it clearly when we piece them together. All right, so the next we're going to do is we're going to add another flexbox container and select the structure, and then we're going to do the same thing, but now let's give some padding so we can see precisely what we're doing. All right, let's set it this way. Set it this way so we can see precisely what we're doing. Now we'll click on this, and then we'll search for loop, and we'll drag this loop and drop it here. Okay, then we'll scroll down and we'll click on create template, click on save. Okay, just like we did before, we're going to rename the template. We're going to call it hero temp 3, and then we're going to click on this plus and go back here and click on this and add a flexbox. We'll add this structure. Now click on this and we search for call to action, and we drag this call to action and drop it here. Now we're going to set the skin type to cover, and for the image, we're going to choose a dynamic image, featured image. Post content, for the title, we're going to use the post title. This for the description, we're going to use the post date. This, and for the button, we're going to just clear this. And for the link, we're going to set it to post URL and set the apply link on whole box. And we'll go to the styling option. For the styling option here, we're going to set the height of the box to 190 pixel, and then we're going to set the alignment to the left, and then for the vertical position, we're going to set it to the bottom, like so. And for the content here, we're going to set the post title typography. We're going to set the font size to 20 pixel. 20 pixel looks okay. We're going to set it to 18 pixel, like so. And then for the description, I think we're going to leave it the way it is. The description, we're going to leave it the way it is. All right, so now that we've done that, we're going to click on save and back. Okay, this is what we get. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to edit this loop. We're going to edit the loop, and then we're going to set column. I'm going to set it to 2 columns, and then item per page, we're going to set it to 2 as well. All right, so this is what we get. Okay, now you can see the 3 loops we've created. So now let's piece this together and create a wonderful hero section for our post. Okay, before we do that, I think I forgot something. All right, I forgot a step. So now for here, better still, let's proceed. Let's proceed. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to piece this together. We're going to piece them all together. To do so, we're just going to add a flexbox container, this container, and then we're going to select this structure. We're going to select this structure here. Okay, now that we've done this, we're going to add some padding. Let's add some padding to the top. Let's give it a padding of 100. Let's just give it a padding all through 100, and then we'll link this, and then to the left to give it 10 pixel, to the right and left to give it 10 pixel, and we'll have something like so. Okay, now for this first box here, we're going to this first container, we're going to copy this. We're going to copy this first hero loop, copy it, and then we're going to paste it here. I'm going to paste it here. All right, and then we're going to copy the second one, this one. I'm going to copy it, and then we're going to paste it here as well. I'm going to paste it here as well, and then for this last one, we're going to copy it as well, and then we're going to paste it here. Now everything is now coming into place. Now the next thing we're going to do is just going to edit this container. When I edit the container, go to the layout and we'll scroll down to the gaps between element. We're going to set it to 10 pixel. I'm going to set it to 10 pixel. And then once we've done that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to all right, let's reduce the size of this container. Let's edit this container from 50% width. Let's set it to 40. Set it to 40%, like so. Okay. Now that we've done that, we'll now come here. We're going to edit this container here. Let's go to the structure so we can see the container in particular. Let's toggle this, and let's see where we are. Okay, now we'll come down here. This is the one here. This is the container here. This entire container. Now let's edit this container and let's give it a gap between element to 10 pixel. We'll have something like that. And then now let's come down to this other container here. This container here. Let's close the gap between the elements here, so that it looks similar to have the gaps between each of the contents. So to do so, let's edit the loop, and then let's go to the style and the gaps between column. Let's set it to 10. Set it to 10 as well. So we're going to get something like this. So as you can see, this is what we've created. This looks wonderful. Now you can see that the first container contains the similar post with the second container and then the third container. We're going to fix that so that it contains a post from the first to the in an orderly manner rather than repeating posts. Now to do so, we just come here, and then for this second box, we're just going to edit this loop for the second box. We'll go to the query section. For the query section, we're going to add some exclusion. We're going to exclude something. Now we're going to click on toggle this exclude, and once we do that, we're going to set an offset. The offset number we're going to say here is 1. What this does is it skips the first post and then shows the second post. So if you put an offset of 2, what it's going to do is going to skip 2 posts and then show the next post. So done that, you can see now this is taking the second post from our list of blog posts, which is this, and then this is the first post, as you've already seen before. Now we're going to come down to this second loop. Going to edit it as well, and then we'll go to the content, and then we'll come down to the query, and we'll go to the exclude, and then we're going to exclude. We'll set the offset to 2. Going to set the offset to 2. So as you can see, now we have post 1, post 2, post 3, post 4. So if we should publish this now and we make a new blog post, it's going to take this first box, any new blog post we make from now, it's going to take this first box, and then this post now will go to this second box, and then this one will come down to this third box, and this one will go to the last box. You can text run this if you want. So let's test run it, and then let's go to our post. Let's add a new post, and then let's call this test post, and then let's just give it some content, and then let's give it a featured image. Let's give it a featured image of this. Let's give it a featured image of this. All right, now let's publish this. Okay, so now if we go back here and then we preview this, okay, now when you scroll down, you can see this is the post we've created now, and the previous post that was here is now here, and that, like so. As you can see, this is dynamic. This hero section is totally dynamic. All right, so before we proceed, we won't be needing this container, neither are we going to be needing this one as well, and this one as well. So we're going to delete them all. So this is what we have. So as you can see now, for this container, you can see it's boxed, and then for the inner container, the first width is 40%, and then the second container, to get the second container, this one here, this one is set to 58%. Now the reason for that is supposed to be 40-60 to account for it, but now for this 10 pixel, I think that's about 2% or thereabout, so we just need to account for that and give it a 58%. So if you should do anything other than that, it will break this to the next line. So this is what we'll have. All right, now that we've done this, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a design for the category section. So to do so, let's just close this and then let's scroll down. I'm going to add a flexboard container. Let's add this container and then let's just, as usual, give it a padding 100 or true, and unlink this and set it to 10, and this one as well, set it to 10, and then we'll click on this plus and then let's add a loop. Okay, we'll drag this loop grid and we'll drop it here. Okay, now you can select from a template you've created as usual, or you create a new template. So in this case, we're just going to create a new template. So we're going to call it, we're going to create a new template, and we're just going to rename the template, and we're going to call it all right, we're gonna call the new template, we're going to call it new cat loop 1. Call it new cat loop 1, or let's just call it cat loop 1. And then now let's go back, let's click on this plus and add a flexbox container. Let's add this. Now we'll click on this and we're going to add the featured image first. We're going to drag and drop the featured image. Okay, now we're going to set the featured image to medium large, and then we're going to okay, we're going to add this, we're going to align it to the left, and then we're going to add a link custom URL. We're going to set it to dynamic tag post URL. Okay, and that we've done this, we'll now go back and let's add a post title. We're going to drag this and drop it here. Okay, and then we're going to add a link post URL for the post title, and let's go to the style option. Let's edit this. Let's change the color to black, and then the typo, let's change the font size to 20 pixel, like so. Now we'll go back here and let's add the post info. All right. Okay, so we won't be needing the time. For the post date, we're going to remove the icon and then make it with the link it so that it doesn't have a link. It's not a link, just a text. Set it to text. And then for the author, we're going to remove the icon for the author. Okay, this looks nice. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a post accept. We're going to add a post accept. Now, in a situation where you drag and drop the post accept and you notice that the post, there is nothing showing there. If you're using the hello theme, first thing you need to do is you need to go to your post and add a new post. When you click on add a new post, you now come to the screen option here and you make sure you tick this, you check this. Once you tick this, you come down here, you're going to see accept. This is where you add your post accept and it will show here. All right, so now we're going to just click on this, and then for the advanced settings, we're going to add after the post accept. Let's add this dot after that. Okay, this looks great, and then you can change the post accept length. You can set the post accept length here. Well, we won't be doing anything to that. Let's just leave it the way it is, and then let's I think that is it. We're done here. Yep, we're pretty much done here. Okay, all right, now let's save and go back. Okay, now this looks nice. I think we should go back and do something. There's too much gap between each of the elements. Let's reduce that. Let's edit this container and then let's reduce the gap between element to 10 pixel. All right, this looks better. So now let's save and go back. All right, so now let's edit the loop, and then for the column, let's set it to 1, and then for item per page, let's set it to 1 as well. So this is what we're going to get. Okay, now that we're done with this, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create another loop. Now let's create this container just like we've done before. Let's give it a padding. You know, like I keep saying, this step is actually not necessary. I'm only doing it so we can see precisely what we are doing. All right, so now we're going to drag a loop here. Let's drag this loop grid and drop it here. Now, as usual, you could either create a template, or if you have a template, an existing template, you just select it here. Now we're going to create a template. All right, allow for this to load completely. Once that is done, we're going to get the option for us to, okay, we're going to get this. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to rename this template. Let's call it cat loop 2. And then let's click on this plus icon. Let's add a flexbox container. Let's add this container, and now let's click on the plus icon. So the widget we're going to be using for this is the the testimonial widget. Not to worry, you might be wondering how can we use this. I'm going to show you how we can use this, and it's the best option for us for the actual structure and design that I want to create. So I'm just going to drag this, and drop it here. Now for this content, we're just going to click and delete the content. For the image, we're going to set the image dynamic tag featured image, and then for the name, we're going to set the name dynamic tag post title, and then for the title, we're going to just set this to dynamic tag post date. So this is what we get. And then for the link, we're going to set the link dynamic tag post URL. Okay, and then we're going to scroll down, and alignment, we're going to set it to the left like so. Now the next thing we're going to do is we'll go to the style options, and then for the style option, we'll come to the image. We're going to set the image size to 70 pixel, and then we're going to set the border radius, we're going to set it to 0, so we'll have something square like that. So the next thing we're going to do is we'll go to the title. For the title, we're going to set the title color to black like this. You can set the title color to black, and then we're going to set the typography. We're going to edit the typography, and let's add some line height so we get a space between this because they're too close to each other. So we're going to set a line height of 20 pixel, 25 pixel like this. This looks great. And you can also change the color. You can also change the color for your name. You can also change the color for your name if you want. You can change it to something dark, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to leave it to red because color is red, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. So now that we've done this, we're just going to click on save and go back. All right, we allow for this to load completely, and voila, this is what we get. So as you can see, this looks wonderful. So the next thing we're going to do is just going to edit this. We're going to edit the template, and then we're going to set the column. We're going to set it to one column, and then we're going to set the total content items per page. We're going to set it to 5. The next thing we're going to do, we'll go to the query section. For the query, we're just going to add some exclude, and then for the offset, we're going to set the offset to 1 so that it doesn't show the first. All right, this is what we get. Now as you can see, there's too much gap between this, so to fix this, we'll go to the style option, and then we'll set the gaps between row. We're going to set it to 10 pixel, and we'll have something like this. Okay, so we are done with this. All right, so the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to piece this together. This cat loop 1 and the cat loop 2, we're going to piece them together. So to do so, we're just going to add a new flexbox container, and the container we'll be using for this is this container here. Okay, and then we're going to turn on this structure. And edit the container, and then we're going to drag the last one and bring it to the top, so we'll have something like this. All right, so now that we've done that, we're just going to edit this and add some padding. Let's add padding to the top, 100 like this, and then to the left and right, let's give it a padding of 10 pixel. Okay, I have something like this. All right, so now the first thing we're going to do is let's close this, and then let's scroll up. Let's copy this one. No, before we do that, let's do something here. Let's do something onto this container. Let's edit this container here. Okay, now what we're going to do is the container is set to this. We're going to add a new container within this container. We're going to drag this container and drop it here, and this container we've added here, we're going to set the row direction horizontal like this. We're going to add another container to it. I will explain to you why we're doing this. It seems we're adding too many containers to this, but let's go to the structure so we can see what we are doing. Now you can see that this container is the parent container here, and then this container is this particular container, which is now the sub-parent container to this other container. Now you can see that this sub-parent container here is set to row direction vertical, and then the child container is set to row direction horizontal. All right, so now that we've set that, we're going to add another container to it. Now this container we've added here, we're going to duplicate it, so we'll have something like this. Okay, so we now call this cat container, and then we'll call this one left container. We'll now call this one baby container. I don't know, I just feel like naming them so we know what we're doing. And then left and right. left, and right, like this. Okay, and now we've named that. The next thing we're going to do is just scroll up, go up, and then we copy this loop, and then we scroll down and we paste it here, and then we go up as well. We'll copy this second loop here. We're going to copy this loop here. We'll scroll down and we'll paste it here, like this. Okay. All right. Now that we've done this, you can see this is what we get. This is the structure we get. So this looks wonderful. Now we got this kind of looks big. The images here kind of look big. So let's fix that by going back. Let's go back and edit this template. Let's edit this template. Edit it. Let's edit the image size. Let's bring it to 60 pixel. Set it to 60 pixel, and then the name, let's set the typography here to 18. Oh, 18 is large. Let's bring it to 14 pixel, and then let's set the weight to 600 bold. Yep, like this. Okay, now that we've done that, let's save and go back. Voila, this looks all right. This looks way more better. This looks way more better. Okay, so now that we've done that, you can see now the next thing we're going to do is let's go up and let's delete this, and also let's delete this as well, and let's edit this container and remove this padding to the top. Let's remove it to the top. Let's give it a padding of 10 to the top, like this. Okay, so we can see it, and then you can see this is what we get now. We can use this section here as our sidebar, and then this we can use it. All right, now finally let's do something else. Let's add something here. Okay, so to do so, let's edit this cut on the left one, which is this. Now what we're going to do is let's drag a title widget and drop it here. Okay, let's drag this. Okay, now let's edit this, and then let's first of all change the font size to 14 pixel, and then now let's go to the advanced settings. Let's come down to the background. Let's give it a background of color black, like this, and then let's go to the layout. Let's add some padding. Let's give it a padding 10 pixel or true. Let's unlink this. To the left, let's give it a padding of 5. To the right, let's give it a padding of 5 as well. Okay, now let's go to the width. Let's set the width to custom, and let's reduce the width to something like this, to 30%. Let's reduce the width to 30%, and let's go here and remove this text and replace the text with let's replace the text to news. Okay, let's the text with news or lifestyle. Yeah, news. Let's leave it at news. Okay, and then let's go back to this advanced settings and let's reduce the width as well. Reduce the width to 15 pixel, like this. Okay, now let's edit the text, the font style. Let's change the style to the font size to 16 pixel, and then the font color, let's set it to white. Set the font color to white, and then let's align this to the center, like this. Okay, now that we've done that, let's add a divider. Let's drag a divider and drop it here. Okay, let's drop it here. Okay, now let's go to the style option, the divider. Let's give it a font weight of 2, and then for the gap, let's take the gap to 0, and then now for this container here, let's edit this container, and then let's remove the gap between element and set it to 0, like this. Set it to 0, like that. Okay, now that we've done that, let's come down to the baby container, this baby container here, and then let's go to the styling option and let's add a padding to the top let's keep it padding to the top of 20 pixel like this. So this is what we get. Yeah, this is what we get. As you can see, this looks nice. Okay, okay. Now we can publish this. All right. Now before we do that, now as we've called this category, we'll call this category news. So we're just gonna edit this and then we'll add a link. But this time around, we won't be using custom URL. We're just gonna add the category link. Gonna add the category link, which is localhost slash category slash news, something like that. That's what we're going to add there. So if you click on this, it takes you to all the category. And then for this content here, the first content here, we're going to edit this, and then we'll go to the query options. Then we're going to include by time, and for the time we're just going to set category for news. Let's search for news. We have a category like that, so we're just going to set it to this. Okay, and then for this one here, I'm going to edit this as well. I'm going to edit this, and then we'll go to the query option. I will set it for the include, we'll set it by terms, and then we'll now search for news. I will select it, and that is it. As you can see, this now shows only the news category of our website. So if we should add another news, it's just going to take it. The first content here will now go here, and then the new content will show here, just like what we have here. So as you can see, we've already started creating a beautiful blog website with a premium template using Elementor. Now let's edit that container and let's reduce this bottom to 50 pixels. So we can have something like this. We can have something like this. And for this container here, you can edit this container and add whatever you want to add here. Okay, now that we have done creating this beautiful structure, let's try to make it responsive on all devices. So to do so, let's start with this first one. Let's go to the tablet mode. Switch the tablet mode. This doesn't look nice on tablet mode, and you can see the website doesn't look nice on tablet mode at all. So we're going to fix this first, and then we head to the mobile mode. All right, to do what we're going to do first is that this container here, we're going to hide this container. So we just go to the advanced responsive, and then we're going to hide it on tablet and then on mobile as well. Okay, now this looks nice. This looks really nice on, but we are pretty much done with this. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is this. Now what we're going to do is this particular template here, we're going to duplicate it. The reason for that is that as it is right now, it is, if you edit it, you're going to notice that it is set to, under the query, it is set to exclude offset 2. That is, it starts on the second post. Now we're going to replace the we're going to duplicate it, and then we're going to duplicate it, and then we're going to set the offset of this first one here. We're going to set the offset to exclude offset 1, so that it now goes from, on tablet mode, it now goes from 1 to 3. Now once we've done that, the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to go to the responsive mode, and then we'll come down here. This particular container, we're going to hide it on desktop and allow it to show only on tablet and then mobile. And then for this other version here, we're going to hide it on, with the responsive mode, then we're going to hide it on tablet and then on mobile as well. If you notice, when I click on hide on tablet, it disappears here. The reason for that is due to my settings, and if you want to do that, you can just come down here, come over here, and then you go to user preference, and then hidden element, you can just set this to show, and it will show like this. But I really don't like it showing like this. It makes the work look a bit clumsy to me, so that is why I just tend to hide it and then proceed. So okay, now that we're done with this looks okay to me. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the mobile version and then edit it, see what it looks like on mobile version. This doesn't look bad on mobile version, but we're going to edit this first template here. So this first template, we're just going to edit it, and then we're going to reduce the height of the featured image of this. Just edit this, and then we set it to 250. I'm going to set it to 250, have something like that. And okay, that looks pretty much okay to me. So we're just going to click on save and go back, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, this looks better. This looks better now. So the next thing we're going to do is The next thing we're going to do is we'll come down here. You can see this already even looks good here. The mobile version looks pretty much nice. Okay, now let's go back. Let's go back to the uh, tablet mode, and then let's fix this for the tablet mode. Now to do so, we're just going to edit this container here, this parent container, and then we're going to set it direction for tablet. We're going to set it to column vertical, and then we're going to come down here. We're going to turn on the structure so we can go to the baby container, this container here, and then we're going to edit this container and set the direction from horizontal to vertical as well. So we're going to have something that looks like this. Okay, now that we've gotten that, we can see that it already looks perfect as well. It looks perfect here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is that instead of having 5 here, we're just going to duplicate this loop. We're going to duplicate it, and just like we did for here, we're going to set the responsiveness. We're going to set the responsiveness here. For the first one, we're going to set the responsiveness to hide on desktop. It's going to hide it on desktop, and then for this second one here, we're going to set the responsiveness to hide on tablet and on mobile as well. So once we do that, no, we won't hide it on mobile. Let's leave it here, or it depends. Let's leave it the way it is. Let's leave it the way it is. Hide it on mobile as well. And then for this one here, we're just going to edit this, and then we'll go to the content, and for here, the item per page, we're going to increase it to 6. So we're going to have something that looks like this. This looks wonderful and perfect. This looks wonderful and perfect on the tablet. Now let's go to the mobile and see what it looks like on the mobile. Okay, this one looks okay. This as well looks nice as well the on the mobile. As you can see, this looks nice on mobile. So we are quite done with this. So what we're going to do now is we're just gonna go back to the desktop layout. I'm gonna go back to the desktop layout and make sure everything looks nice. So everything looks perfect on the desktop. Nothing is changed on the desktop. Okay. Now you can use this empty box here for your sidebar. You can add advert here, search icon here, search button here. You can add whatever you want to add on this particular section. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to duplicate this container. I'm going to duplicate it. Okay. Okay. Now that we've duplicated it, this is what we get. It's already coming into place. We now have a beautiful structure that looks like a premium newspaper website. Now we're going to edit this now for another category. We're going to rename this one. We're going to rename it to lifestyle. We have a category called lifestyle. Now set it to lifestyle. Then we're going to edit this template here. This template, now we'll go to the query. For the query, the terms here, we're going to clear this term, and then we'll set a new term to lifestyle. Lifestyle. It's going to search for lifestyle and then bring the lifestyle up. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do here is going to come down here to this one here, and we're going to edit it as well. And then we're going to change the query. We're going to remove the category news. We're going to set it to lifestyle as well. We're going to set it to lifestyle as well. Okay, now this is what we have. So you can see everything now looks nice for lifestyle. We can go on and add other blocks depending on the number of categories you have. You can add other containers and then just proceed with this. So once you've done that, you need to remember to go to the tablet mode. To go to the tablet mode, you need to do the same thing for the lifestyle for the tablet mode. For the tablet mode, you need to do the same thing for this container here. So it pulls the right one. And now come here. You can see still pulling that of category news. So you change it to lifestyle. Now change it to lifestyle and it pulls the right one. And then when you go to the mobile, everything looks fine. Everything looks just perfect the way it should be. As you can see, everything just looks fine. Okay, you can see that for this one here, the lifestyle doesn't look well. So we're just going to edit this. And then the heading, we're going to edit it and we're going to increase the width, the column width, custom width, we're going to increase it to 100. We're going to increase it to 100 like so. So this is what we get. Everything now looks very, very nice. Okay, and then we can still edit this and increase the width for this one as well from 15 pixel. Let's increase it to 70 like this. All right, so we are done making our blog website look responsive. We're done with that, so we can go back, publish this, and then go back to our desktop view. Now, as you can see, with this knowledge, you can actually build wonderful dynamic uh, website with the loop, Elementor loop, and in fact, you can build a premium newspaper website using Halo theme, Element, and the Elementor Pro, and you can have something as beautiful as this and even more beautiful than this depending on your level of creativity. All you just need to know is how to work around the offset and then how to make it look responsive, and you have the idea and then you're good to go. And so come to the end of this tutorial. I hope you find this video helpful and informative to you. If you find this video helpful and informative to you, you can do us a favor by clicking on the like button for the YouTube algorithm so that other people can see it as well. And if you have any question or confusion, you can drop it on the comment of this video and I will attend to it. And if you're new to our channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified first when next I upload a new video. Until then, see you next time. Bye bye.